Cars and chemistry are very closely related. In fact, a car needs chemistry in order to move. In an internal combustion engine, a car transfers burning fuel energy into mechanical energy. In electric cars, it is much more complicated. The electrical energy converts into mechanical energy. This works by separating two metals in the battery into two different cells. In one cell, the metal is mixed with an electrolyte, and the molecules of the metal are broken down, and the surface of the metal is no longer together, which causes electrons to escape. In the other cell, less electrons are escaping and makes it more positive. A wire connects these two cells, and they react with each other. The electrical energy from the electrons captured make the car move. Some pros to electric cars are that the government will pay all buyers $7,500 when they purchase an electric car. There is also no tailpipe emission, which means there is no smog given off. In the Midwest, an electric car is seen as a gas car with a fuel economy of 43 miles per gallon, according to a search by the Union of Concerned Scientists. In New York, it is the equivalent of driving 112 miles per gallon. Electric cars are more beneficial to drive in the city because in a book called Electric Cars by Jenny McKay, she explains that electric cars can drive better in stop-and-go traffic as opposed to internal combustion engines, which let out a lot of power and burn gas while sitting in one spot. According to a Ford Motor spokesperson named Aaron Miller, 34% of all charging is done by renewable resources because the owners have solar power homes, which means that coal is not used. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, owners of electric cars pay the equivalent of $1.29 per gallon to operate their cars. Some cons of electric cars are the opportunity cost of charging the car, and some of those power resources used are from power plants that emit coal. The LA Times makes this argument in an article titled, "Are Electric Cars Greener? Depends on where you live." The New York Times agrees with this statement by saying that plans just relocate the emission. The Union of Concerned Scientists found that in the middle of the United States, coal is used to power, while in other parts of the United States, coal is not used. This makes a compelling argument when saying there is limited knowledge on electric cars, which means that the exposure to the batteries is unknown for how dangerous it is. Also, it is hard to find a specialist when a repair is needed on an electric car. Another con to electric cars are their cargo space and towing ability. The cargo space is limited and their towing ability is scarce. In a book titled Electric Cars, it says that they have less storage and less power to transport things from place to place. Many people do not want to buy electric cars because they do not want to pay as much money up front. In the Times, an argument is made based off of fluctuating gas prices, saying that electric cars are not known whether or not they save money compared to gas cars because gas prices are always changing. Another argument against electric cars is safety. A lot of pedestrians complain about electric cars because there is no noise, much like in The Office when Andy hit Dwight with his Prius. As a solution to the cons, other sources of energy are available to charge cars as opposed to coal, such as wind, water, sun. According to the Los Angeles Times, if an electric car charges in the Midwest of the United States, it will produce more carbon dioxide than internal combustion engines. But in the West, including Texas, there are less emissions because natural gas is used as a power source instead of coal. So if other places in the United States use a different power source as opposed to coal, there will be less emissions into the environment. To make electric cars greener, the United States Environmental Agency is making a clean power plan to regulate what is emitted, according to Los Angeles Times. The Union of Concerned Scientists said that 60% of Americans live where electric cars with grid electricity contribute to less heat-trapping emissions than hybrids. According to Don A.R., a research and deputy director of the Union of Concerned Scientists Clean Vehicles Program, he says electric vehicles are doing more to fulfill their technological promise, which means that electric cars will improve with the near future. I believe that with technological advances, electric cars will soon take over and be more green than internal combustion engines.
She asked me, son, when I grow old, will you buy me a house of gold? And when your father turns to stone, will you take care of me? She asked